that, again, he has repeated that he is going to bring all these reports in 3 months. But CS, it is so scaring to discover that the people who are supposed to protect the lives of the people are the ones killing these innocent people. And what I want to ask to as a member of this committee, as a leader from Nakuru, if someone is found to be having maybe he has done some mistake, I don't think it is right for the security people to kill instead of arresting and taking them to court instead of killing. It's a concern, and it's really bringing a lot of problems everywhere. As parents, we cannot allow this. As leaders, we cannot allow this. But I want to thank you because you've committed yourself that in 3 months you'll bring a report that will speak on honorable warriors and the Nakuru matter that concerns the AWS and Kenya Forest Service, where 2 people lost their lives, and parents are still waiting for the reports. Thank you.
Professor, you want to talk about it?
Yes, on
the killing. Then we give
thank you, Chair. For the purposes of record, my name is Professor Atakutetea, Member of Parliament for the constituency. Chair, I think KWS has been spot on killing innocent people. A case in point is where KWS sprayed bullets using an helicopter in Turkana, in Lake Turkana. Members of Parliament for those particular constituencies, especially Turkana North and Turkana Central, raised as even in this committee, and efforts to reach even the DG for KWS has been futile. And that case came way back, like somewhere in February. And that case, nobody has followed. So KWS has gone even beyond using helicopters to spray innocent people and kill them, and are not taking anywhere. So CS, you need to comment on that because that has been raised several times and nobody is giving an ear. Thank you.
So before I carry on with CS, I want you to note on the issue of the electoral. Actually, it came to the House several days, and even the Speaker suggested that we had a joint meeting between the Interior and the DG KWS. But the DG KWS, sorry to say, it became dodgy. It's dodgy. And so kindly, this is your docket. I think I follow up on your suggestion of my colleague. Maybe you look away from doing a joint so that we see the intervention on the killing of Kenyans in Electrical by the KWS. So maybe let Kíll Kekai, then Wario, you will wrap up and we'll close this.
Thank you, Chair. For the CS, we see it in the corporate, we see it in the developing societies. Because when you ask about how long will it take to finish a forensic test, we're talking of 3 months. Is it possible within your plan as part of good practice to ensure that there is a documented process flow so that where you sit or where the PS sits, if in the event there's an issue, a similar issue coming up, we can say within 14 days, if a gun or the remains are provided, we are able, you can say it on top of your, that look, within 14 days we'll have this sort of a process flow. Because if you talk to your counterparts in developed societies, they will actually tell you we can get it even within 72 hours. You've mentioned the issue of laboratories. With our friendly devolved partners, because when you talk about budget, we're struggling as a country in terms of funding, but I've made efforts to speak to our traditional friends. An example, to even plant here a laboratory, which in the process they'll also give you trainers, and they'll also ensure that there's that continuous improvement in terms of technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate also the CS for trying to give justice to the family. Also, Chairman, the CS said the NPS or the DCI, they're independent. So I am kindly requesting the committee also separately to invite the DCI to come and explain, because This matter is very weighty. The CS said he has answered in the Senate. No action has been taken, and now before the National Assembly. I'm kindly requesting, because this matter has really brought stress even to the community. Your able PS was there with the president, I think in June. The same place, Connie. In fact, president felt for them, he gave them sub-county. You know, those people live far away from Garsen. Around 167 kilometers from Garsen. There is no police presence. Last parliament, we built a police, a very big one. It still is a police post. When the matter comes, they report to Garsen. So I think CS also, you promised to come and open the Tarasa sub-county. I think you should do it as soon as possible for those people to get justice and government service closer to them. So I'm kindly requesting the committee, if possible. I'm not doubting the response by the CS, but 3 months is long, Chair. He said in 3 months. 3 months is very long.
I think the CS was clear on that point, that of course having the file already with the DPP, we give him some... Of course, Mr. Chair,
I'm requesting
I'm suggesting
for the time.
We are concerned as you are. We know an innocent Kenyan has lost life unnecessarily. So because the CS is in charge and of course responsible with the policy and directive, normally we have a very close interaction and engagement. Maybe once we come back from the recess, we able to give an update. If necessary, we may call again the CS with the DCI to come.
Most obliged, Chair.
Just quickly, Chair, so that we finish on this issue. First, let me let me appreciate that there are policy issues that are coming from this question, which are beyond the death of Mr. Jarso and also Brian Odhiambo in Nakuru and other places. The question of how do you hold accountable KWS rangers across the country?
Even county rangers.
Yes, I will come to the county one, but for KWS and KFS, KWS and KFS, there is no reason, in my opinion, why this committee cannot propose an amendment to the IPOA Act to include all the armed, as long as not the Kenya Defense Forces, these all other armed agencies or institutions in the country to come under the IPOA oversight, so that then they know that there's a watchdog that is watching them. But there's also no reason why the KFS itself and KWS cannot have internal mechanisms of a separate internal mechanism that deals with the rangers themselves, so that you can be able to deal with these questions of discipline and perhaps improve on training. I'm not saying the police don't have the same problem, that they do, but as soon as it happens, we have a POA in place, we have the internal mechanism we have, and now it's acceptable, even within the police command, that there is no need to defend a police officer who has committed excesses because he is operating outside the requirements of the law. We only defend police officers who perhaps found themselves in a fight with armed groups and so forth. But for somebody who goes to kill an innocent civilian, the law is very clear when it comes to the police, but it should extend to KWS and KFS. On the part of the KPR, Kenya Police Reservist, or National Police Reservist, who are either operating as rangers in counties or the security we are using in different places, I don't think, Mr. Chair, there is a reason why IPOA should not be involved. I don't know why. Because they are police reservists. They are part of the National Police Service. They are even coordinated from the headquarters of the IG's office. So there is absolutely no reason. Indeed, cognizant of the challenges we have in terms of command and control of the KPR or the NPR, we have now working on the revised policy that is ongoing. In fact, working together with NPS. I should be meeting the team tomorrow to update how far they have reached, because we want to have clarity. You know, we have 10,000, although we are not very clear because of the old KPR team. When I went to Tana River, I remember Honorable Ali, that people are saying we have even KPRs who are over 80 years old, because they were registered in 1960s, 1970s. Nobody has followed up where they are. They have their old wooden gun, We in this policy, we want to make sure that everybody is registered, everybody is accountable to an OCS in the neighborhood. We have clarity of when do you cease to be an NPR. You know, if you are aging or you become, in fact, in some places, the old KPR, they consider the gun as a family property. So it's always handed over from there to this son, to this uncle, so because there was no clarity of policy on how to manage it. Now that we have up to 400 in one county, 500 in one county, it's important that they are all organized so that they don't become, support criminal activities in where they are. They are accountable to the OCS, but also accountable to IPOA and accountable to the National Police Service, because 10,000 is a critical number. NPR plays a very critical role. Most of these MPs that come from marginalized areas, they think the only request is NPR. When they come, they say, please, we want the NPR. They don't even ask for further deployment of police officers. They ask for locally the NPR. So as we increase the numbers, we want to make sure that the policy. I promise that in the next 2 months, we should be done with this process so that we bring it to this committee. And then we can have a workshop to discuss it. And then we continue with the stakeholder engagement. And eventually, we will have clarity on command. Where law needs to be amended, we will then leave it to the committee with the proposals of amendment so that they can do the amendment. But at the moment, it is standard operating procedures that we want to put in place for the NPR. The last thing is...
So maybe, says, because I know Masara wanted to say something, for your information, actually, not surprisingly, the issue of the very ordinary NPR, which we are using in our North Rift, the north part of the country, I don't want to emphasize the importance.
Yeah.
Actually, the problem we have, and I'm talking out of experience, is of course even the game rangers.
Yes.
Because now their recruitment is done by the county governments. Of course, their remuneration done by the same. And majority of the time, they recruit their supporters. So here are supporters who are armed with sophisticated guns. Of course, we then have the rogue governors. They convert these people to be part of their militia or organizing group. I'm sorry to use that word, because of course, exceptionally, they are good ones. But now, because I don't want to bring that, it's a big topic, and I think it is a conversation that we will plan. We have been having issues as committee, so that if need be to affirm some loose end in our acts, we need to, because like in Narok, I've given you an example, you are also a constituent there. They don't respond to any command of our police. It is the employees of the governors, they are the support group of our governor, and these are armed people. But now, maybe we don't open that. But
no,
we
the
are
point I was just saying is that rangers are KPR or NPR. I wish that understanding was fast achieved. So what we are doing in the policy proposal is to see how then these rangers can be answerable to the OCS in the next door, and where do they interact with the county police, county security committee or sub-county security committee. That nexus is what is missing, both for rangers, and rangers are in Narok, Marsabit, they are in Laikipia, they are in Isiolo, they are in Samburu, they are in Tana River. So a number of these places across the country, and I don't know if Turkana have the rangers also for county government, but it is important that, and the interesting bit of the rangers actually is that they can do a very good job. In Laikipia, for example, they have been very supportive in terms of fighting banditry. And in some, I went to one of the ranches, conservancy, sorry, and I was shown the way they are kitting their rangers. the way they are giving propaganda, of course, with the permission of government, and that technology they use, including drones, has helped in banditry in that area. In fact, I feel like I wish there was a way we would be organizing all the NPR across the country. But of course, you know, they're paid better, you know, they are kitted better. And so we can get value from these rangers. I don't think we properly organized and with proper view of the police service, they can be of great help. And the ones in Laikipia have been of great help in recovery of livestock, including recently where the Conservancy is also offered, including their aerial power to support recovery of a lot of livestock in the neighborhood. So there's a benefit that comes with it. I don't really think that there's anything wrong with the county government establishing and putting these people. And ordinarily, if you are employed at the time of, if the governor is Honorable Tongoyo, and you have been employed at that time, generally, as human beings, some loyalty is here and there. But as long as they're trained and they appreciate that that loyalty cannot go beyond certain boundary because you are an armed officer of a national government, then they will know that they will be held into account. And if we bring IPOA to the mix, it doesn't matter who supported me to be in office, I will try to act independently.